Deposits are a useful tool to guarantee revenue for your business and protect against no-shows. This film will show you how to set these up for a variety of different scenarios. Deposits can only be taken if you have Stripe enabled within your diary. We have an additional video guide covering Stripe setup linked in the description. From your diary, click Settings, and within the Payments section, click Deposits. Here you'll be able to see any deposits already in place within the diary, the option to edit these, or create a new deposit. When creating a deposit, it's important to know exactly how you want it to function. Do you want to apply a deposit on certain days or table sizes to protect your busiest times? Apply a blanket deposit to a specific service and segment? Or add a deposit to specific promotions? In this example, I'll be taking a deposit of £10 per cover throughout the week for tables of 6 or more, and on Fridays and Saturdays for tables of 2 or more. In the deposit page, click Add. By default, your deposit will be enabled. You may wish to disable the deposit while you're working. Give the deposit a description. This isn't customer facing, so aim to clearly outline to your team why this deposit is in place and what it does. I want this deposit to be applied to all online bookings, so we won't attach it to a promotion. This deposit will be in place indefinitely, so we set the end date far into the future. We don't ask for deposits on internal bookings, and I'll choose to apply the deposit amount by the number of covers. With these initial settings in place, I'll click Update. Opening the deposit again, we have new options available to us. This is where we can set the conditions that affect when the deposit is applied. To set a variation by day of the week and number of covers, click Add under Number of People. First, I'll set conditions for larger parties. I set the number of covers to 6 and condition 2 or more. I'll take a deposit of £10 per cover every night of the week for these tables. So I can use the default settings within the text boxes and click Save. I'll click Add again and this time set conditions for parties of 2 or more guests. This will only be applied on Fridays and Saturdays, so the other days are set to 0. I click Save and the deposit will be in place. It is worth testing your deposit settings in the widget to make sure that it is working as expected. Make sure to set your deposit to enabled and try the various conditions that should trigger the deposits. The deposit will be live to customers at this point, so you may wish to do this testing at a time when guests are unlikely to be booking. Looking at the deposit editor again, there is an additional section at the bottom that allows you to vary the amount of deposit you take based on the service and segment. These settings will override previous sections, applying a blanket deposit for the service, regardless of the number of covers or the day of the week. This can be particularly useful when setting up a segment that requires these blanket deposits without affecting your normal operations. For a detailed look at setting up a segment, watch the linked film. It is important to note that if you have multiple deposits enabled, they may combine, presenting the guest with a higher deposit amount than expected. It is important to test your deposit when making changes and use the enable and disable function to manage multiple deposits effectively. You may only wish to apply a deposit to a specific promotion. For example, you may run a tasting menu with a set price that you want to take at the point of booking. In this scenario, the description is particularly crucial as it will be shown internally within the promotion settings when editing the promotion. Select the promotion you wish to add the deposit to. This can be done in the promotion later if it hasn't been created yet. The start and end date can be ignored as this will be overridden by the settings within the promotion. I'll apply this deposit to both internal and online bookings, and again, it'll be applied by cover. I can now click Update. Returning to the editor, you can now set the deposit amount and click Update. Finally, open the relevant promotion and within the Info tab, under the Payment drop-down, select the relevant deposit. For more details, we have several films covering the use of promotions. For more support content, visit the ResDiary knowledge base and make the most out of your diary.